In the dimly lit cabin of the spaceship, Jason Statham stirred awake, his instincts kicking in before his mind fully registered his surroundings. Known for his roles as a relentless fighter in action films, he was a man molded by hard knocks, defying the odds through sheer grit and determination. Muscles taut and reflexes sharp, Statham had faced countless adversaries, but nothing could prepare him for this bizarre reality. As he sat up, the metallic scent of the ship filled his nostrils, mingling with an unsettling silence that felt eerie and foreign. He instinctively scanned his environment, every detail igniting a spark of familiarity within the chaos. His life had been one of adrenaline-fueled escapades, often battling insurmountable odds. Yet now he found himself in a situation that demanded more than physical prowess. It required mental acuity and resilience. His rugged exterior belied a deep well of resourcefulness, a trait honed through years of surviving in the harshest conditions. Whether it was dodging bullets or orchestrating an escape from overwhelming danger, Statham's character was defined by an unwavering resolve. Yet as he contemplated the vastness of space beyond the ship's windows, a chilling realization began to settle in. This was not merely another fight. It was an unforeseen adventure into the unknown. With curiosity piqued and heart racing, he resolved to uncover the truth behind his circumstances. The journey ahead would test him like never before, pushing him beyond limits he never knew existed. Jason blinked against the dim light. Fragments of his memory swirled like scattered stars across a vast night sky. The sleek, metallic walls of the spaceship felt cold against his skin, and he struggled to piece together how he had arrived in this surreal place. The soft hum resonated around him, an almost soothing sound that contrasted sharply with the chaos brewing within his mind. His eyes darted around the cabin, taking in displays flashing with alien symbols and intricate designs that hinted at advanced technology far beyond anything he had encountered on Earth. The sharp angles and smooth surfaces of the ship made it feel alive, as if it were a living entity cradling him in its embrace. Yet, beneath that polished exterior lay an unsettling emptiness that gnawed at him. Statham swung his legs over the edge of what appeared to be a sleeping pod. Feeling the coolness of the floor beneath his feet, that he stood unsteadily for a moment, fighting off disorientation as he attempted to recall any details from before this bizarre awakening. Had he been captured? Was this some elaborate trick? Each thought was met with nothing but shadows and silence. There were no clues, no signs of a struggle, just him and the mystery surrounding his presence on this ship. With a deep breath, he resolved to explore this new reality, determined to uncover what had happened and why he found himself adrift in the depths of space. With tentative steps, Jason ventured deeper into the ship, his curiosity mingling with an undercurrent of anxiety. The cabin opened up into a larger control room, bathed in an otherworldly glow emanating from panels that lined the walls. Each panel was alive with colorful displays, flickering and pulsating like neon stars against the dark backdrop. Maps of distant constellations danced across screens, intricate paths tracing routes through deep space, revealing his position among galaxies he had only read about in science fiction. As he approached one of the screens, alien symbols flashed before him, numerous and complex, more reminiscent of cryptic art than any language he recognized. That he reached out cautiously to touch the surface. It felt warm beneath his fingertips, responding to his presence. The symbols rearranged themselves momentarily, as if inviting him to decipher their meaning. Statham's heart raced as he marveled at the sheer complexity of the technology surrounding him. Gesture-controlled interfaces allowed for manipulation of data without physical contact, something that seemed like magic compared to anything back on Earth. Yet beneath the awe lay confusion. How could he navigate or communicate when everything felt so foreign? Amidst this technological wonder was a pervasive sense of isolation. The ship hummed softly around him, a constant reminder that he was utterly alone in this vast expanse of space. Resolute, he knew that understanding this intricate environment would be vital to uncovering the truth about what had happened and finding a way forward. Jason continued to navigate the control room. A playful chime interrupted his thoughts, causing him to jump slightly. Suddenly, a holographic figure materialized before him, An artificial intelligence manifested in the form of a quirky humanoid with bright blue eyes and an exaggerated grin. Its voice was lighthearted, crackling with energy as it greeted him. "Welcome aboard, Captain Statham, or should I say, the last human standing." The AI's tone was both cheerful and sarcastic, instantly disarming Jason's apprehension. "You've been selected for an adventure of galactic proportions. Not that you had much choice in the matter." Jason raised an eyebrow, still processing the absurdity of conversing with a hologram. "What do you mean selected? What's going on here?" Let me enlighten you." The AI twirled around in midair before pointing at one of the glowing screens. "This ship is the SS Resilience, designed to navigate interstellar space. Your mission? To locate a new home for humanity after that, well, let's just say Earth has become a tiny bit uninhabitable." Caught somewhere between disbelief and fascination, Statham couldn't help but chuckle at the AI's nonchalant attitude about Earth's destruction. "And how exactly do I do that?" "Fear not. I'm equipped with all the data you'll need." "Well, most of it anyway," it replied with a wink. "But first things first. Let's get you some clothes that don't scream, 'I just woke up in a pod.'" The hologram gestured theatrically towards a nearby closet that slid open to reveal an array of futuristic outfits. Statham couldn't help but smile at the whimsical nature of this quirky digital companion. With its humor breaking through the tension, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. This unlikely partnership may just be what he needed to face the unknown ahead. As Jason adjusted to the AI's whimsical nature, a more serious tone emerged, drawing his attention back to the gravity of the situation. "So, about Earth," the AI began, its blue eyes softening. "It's important you understand what happened." Jason felt a knot tighten in his stomach as he waited for the revelation. "What do you mean? What happened to my home?" The AI hesitated for a moment, as if weighing its words carefully. "Earth faced catastrophic events, climate disasters, wars over dwindling resources, and then, well, let's just say humanity's attempts to fix things led to its own downfall." The hologram swirled slightly, projecting images of devastation, cities engulfed in flames, floods swallowing entire landscapes, and chaotic scenes of despair. Statham's heart raced as he absorbed the images. The weight of grief and disbelief settled heavily on him. "So, everyone is gone?" he asked quietly, his voice barely a whisper. "Most, yes," the AI replied gently. "You are among a few chosen to embark on this mission that we were designed to preserve human knowledge and find a new home for those who may still survive." The reality hit him like a punch. He was not only lost, but also one of the last remnants of humanity. That a rush of emotions surged within him. Anger at the destruction, sorrow for those he had loved, and an overwhelming determination to honor their memory by succeeding in this mission. The AI continued to provide details about their journey ahead. Jason embraced his resolve that it was time to channel his grief into action. Earth may no longer exist, but he would fight for humanity's future among the stars. As the weight of the AI's words settled in, Jason felt a churning storm of emotions within him. Loss, isolation, and an unyielding determination that surged to the forefront. The reality that Earth was gone struck him like a tidal wave, washing away any remnants of normalcy he once knew. Memories of laughter, love, and the simple comfort of home flickered before him like ghostly apparitions, each one stinging with the ache of what had been lost forever. He glanced around the control room. The walls lined with screens displaying distant stars and galaxies. This strange ship, despite its technological wonders, only amplified his sense of loneliness. The vast darkness beyond the windows served as a constant reminder that he was utterly alone in a universe that felt both infinite and isolating. Each pulse of the ship's engine seemed to echo his solitude. Yet amid the sorrow, a fire ignited within him that he could not let despair consume him. Not when he had a mission, a purpose, the determination to honor those lost took root in his heart. He would not allow their memories to fade into the void. With every ounce of strength he possessed, he resolved to navigate this new reality and lead humanity to safety. Statham's instincts kicked in. Survival was not just about physical prowess. It was also about resilience of spirit. He took a deep breath, steeling himself for the challenges ahead. It was time to transform his grief into action, to channel his emotions into a fierce resolve that could guide him through the stars and toward hope. With a renewed sense of purpose, Jason focused on the mission laid out before him by the AI. "Now, let's get into the details of our grand adventure," the AI exclaimed, its holographic figure shifting to reveal a star map on one of the glowing screens. Bright dots representing potential habitable planets blinked in vibrant colors, each pulsing with the promise of life. "Your primary objective is to locate a new home for humanity," it continued, illustrating the gravity of their task. "We need to assess these planets for feasibility, taking into account their atmospheres, potential, resources, and capacity to support human life." As he studied the swirling stars and planets displayed before him, Statham's instincts kicked in. This was not just about survival. It was about leadership. He felt a primal urge to guide others, to protect what remained of humanity's legacy. The enormity of his role began to sink in. He was not merely a passenger, but a key player in writing humanity's next chapter. "All right then," he said, his voice steadying with resolve. "What's our first move?" The AI's eyes lit up with enthusiasm. "First, we calibrate the ship's scanners to evaluate those planets. Each scan will take some time, so we'll need to prioritize where we direct our efforts." Jason nodded, instinctively taking charge. "Let's start with the closest one," he suggested, pointing to a promising blue-green orb on the screen. "Prepare for analysis and relay the information as soon as you have it." With that, he felt a surge of adrenaline. This was more than an exploration. It was humanity's last hope. With each decision, he embraced his role as leader, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead on their quest for a new beginning among the stars. The SS Resilience hurtled through the cosmos toward their chosen target. Jason Statham felt a surge of optimism. However, that optimism quickly waned as the ship's systems began to flicker and malfunction. Alarms blared abruptly, and lights dimmed, casting unsettling shadows across the control room. "Oh, it seems we've hit a snag," the AI chirped, its voice laced with a hint of panic. "The navigation system is experiencing some technical difficulties." Jason's heart raced as he hurried to the control panel, attempting to stabilize the ship. "What do you mean technical difficulties? We need that system operational." "I'm working on it," the AI replied, its holographic form flickering. "But it appears that power levels are dropping rapidly, that we may have to divert energy from non-essential systems." Every second felt like an eternity as Jason wrestled with the controls, frustration mounting. Just as he managed to regain some stability, a notification flashed on the screen. An incoming transmission identified as hostile. "Looks like we're not alone," the AI exclaimed, panic now evident in its tone. "We've detected an alien ship approaching fast." Jason's instincts kicked in. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Can we mask our signature?" The AI's hologram flickered again. "I can try, but it may not be effective if they're already tracking us." Just then, the ship rocked violently as it was struck by a blast from the approaching alien vessel. Jason gripped the control panel tightly, adrenaline coursing through him. They were facing unforeseen challenges at every turn: malfunctions, resource shortages, and now hostile forces. But he wouldn't back down, that he had to keep fighting for humanity's last chance. With determination burning in his chest, he turned to the AI. "We need to think fast and act smarter. Let's move." As the ship rocked from the impact of the alien blast, Jason's instincts kicked into high gear. He quickly assessed the damage, taking stock of the control panel's readings while the AI frantically relayed information about their declining power levels. It was an urgent moment that demanded both his physical and mental strength. With a swift motion, he secured himself in his seat and activated emergency protocols, channeling a fierce focus that transformed chaos into clarity. "We need to reinforce the shield generators," he shouted to the AI, noticing the glowing energy levels dwindling dangerously low. "Can you reroute the power?" "Yes, but it will leave us vulnerable for a moment," the AI warned. "Do it," Jason replied firmly, embodying a leader determined to protect their fragile hope. As the power redirected, Jason felt adrenaline coursing through him, a reminder of his days as an action hero, where every second counted. Yet this was different. It was not just about survival, but about safeguarding humanity's legacy. His mind raced with strategies, weighing risks against potential gains. When they were suddenly hailed by the alien vessel demanding surrender, Jason's heart pounded. Instead of cowering in fear or yielding to despair, he stood tall. "We have to negotiate," he declared, surprising even himself with the resoluteness in his voice. "They may hold critical information about nearby planets." This moment marked a significant shift within him. He was no longer just a lone survivor, but a protector of humanity's future. Each challenge he faced strengthened his resolve and sharpened his instincts, forging him into a leader capable of navigating both physical threats and emotional turmoil. Statham knew that whatever awaited them in the vastness of space, he would face it head-on with tenacity and purpose. In the aftermath of the alien attack, Jason sought to strengthen the crew's cohesion. Amidst the rising tensions, he gathered the small group of survivors in the ship's common area, a stark, metallic space illuminated by dim overhead lights. Faces filled with apprehension looked back at him, and he realized that leadership meant not only making decisions, but also fostering a sense of unity. "Listen up, everyone," he began, his voice steady but strong. "We're in this together. Earth's gone. But that doesn't mean we have to face this alone, that we can't let fear divide us. We need each other. Now more than ever." A young engineer named Mira stepped forward, her hands trembling slightly as she spoke. "We need to fix the ship's systems if we're to reach any habitable planet. That I can help with repairs, but I'll need more hands on deck." Jason nodded, appreciating her initiative. "I'll assist wherever I can, and if anyone else has skills in engineering or navigation, now's the time to step up." Another survivor, an experienced medic named Marcus, chimed in. "And we need to ensure our resources are shared fairly. Food and supplies won't last forever unless we manage them wisely." As they brainstormed strategies together, camaraderie began to replace the initial fear. Jason recognized that their diversity, each person bringing unique skills, was their greatest asset in this fight for survival. With each proposal and shared idea, the atmosphere shifted from desperation to determination. "Let's establish roles," Jason suggested, taking charge of the conversation. "Together, we can not only survive but thrive on this journey." As they broke into smaller groups to tackle specific tasks, Jason felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were forming a community bound by hope and resilience, ready to face the challenges ahead as one united force. Tension escalated aboard the SS Resilience as the alien vessel closed in on their location, its ominous silhouette stark against the backdrop of distant stars. Jason gathered the crew, their expressions a mix of determination and fear. "This is it," he said, his voice steady. "We've trained for this moment. Trust in each other and our strategy." The AI projected a holographic image of their adversary, detailing its weaponry and defensive capabilities. "We need to disable their engines first," Jason instructed, pointing at the glowing red dots that indicated power sources. "Mira, you're on repairs. Marcus, prepare medical supplies for any injuries we might encounter." As alarms blared and lights flickered with urgency, Jason took his position at the control panel. The ship lurched as evasive maneuvers were executed, but the alien craft fired a volley of energy blasts, causing the SS Resilience to shudder violently. Jason's heart raced as he fought to maintain control while barking commands. "Focus on stabilizing the shields," he yelled to Mira, who was frantically rerouting power from non-essential systems. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, Jason felt a surge of clarity. He maneuvered the ship closer to the alien vessel, preparing for a counterattack. Just then, an explosion rocked the control room. One of their systems had failed under pressure. "Now," Jason shouted, "prepare to fire." With unwavering resolve, they unleashed their own weapons, lighting up the void with energy blasts aimed directly at their aggressors. The atmosphere was electric with tension as they entered a high-stakes showdown where every decision counted. This was not just a fight for survival. It was a battle that would test their unity and resolve against an enemy determined to extinguish humanity's last hope. The crew of the SS Resilience, battered yet unbroken, stood together in the control room after successfully fending off the alien threat. Jason took a deep breath, the tension slowly dissipating as he realized they had not only survived but emerged stronger. "We did it," he exclaimed, and a wave of relief and triumph washed over them. With renewed determination, they refocused on their mission, The AI began processing new data from the nearby planet they had detected before the attack, a world that seemed to have potential for sustaining human life. Approaching coordinates for planet Theta 7. The AI announced, its voice crisp with excitement. Atmospheric analysis shows promising results. As they drew closer, Jason felt a mix of anticipation and anxiety. What awaited them on this unknown world? The ship's sensors confirmed that they would land within minutes, and he urged the crew to prepare for descent. "This could be our new home," he said, excitement bubbling in his chest. "Let's make sure we're ready to scout this place and gather any essential resources." The ship touched down with a gentle thud on the planet's surface, surrounded by vibrant flora and fresh air that filled their helmets with the scent of adventure. Stepping out on solid ground, Jason looked around at his team, eyes wide with wonder and hope. "Together, we can rebuild," he declared, heart swelling with optimism in that moment. Surrounded by his fellow survivors on this new world, Jason was filled with resolve. They may have faced insurmountable odds, but now, united as a family, they could build a future worth fighting for. The journey had just begun, and for the first time since waking in the spaceship, hope blossomed within him as brightly as the alien sun rising over Theta-7. As Jason stepped onto the lush surface of planet Theta-7, his senses were overwhelmed by the vibrancy of life surrounding him. The air was fresh and invigorating, filled with scents he had long forgotten. It was a stark contrast to the cold, metallic confines of the spaceship he turned to look at. His crew, who were busy preparing their new home, each face a mix of hope and resolve. Yet amidst the excitement, Jason felt a profound weight settle in his chest as he contemplated what it truly meant to be human in this universe devoid of Earth. The memories of laughter, love, and familiar comforts lingered in his mind, echoes of a past that could never return. With every step on this new soil, he pondered the sacrifices made and the lives lost. Is survival enough? He asked himself, gazing at the distant horizon where the alien sun cast warm rays. What does it mean to rebuild and start anew? He realized that it wasn't just about finding food or shelter. It was about forging connections, nurturing relationships, and carrying forward the essence of humanity, their values, hopes, and dreams. As his crew gathered around him, excitedly planning their next steps, Jason felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were not just survivors, but pioneers on a journey to redefine what it meant to be human. Together, they would strive to create a community based on compassion and cooperation, ensuring that the lessons learned from Earth's fate would shape their future. With determination rekindled in his heart, Jason looked toward the stars once more. Their adventure was far from over. It was just beginning. A chance to explore uncharted territories not only in space, but within themselves as they carried forth the legacy of humanity into this promising new world.